안녕하세요, 케이준입니다. And 안녕하세요, 침치입니다. I have red cheek today only in this side, but well, all good. How are you, everyone? I see the comments already. 안녕하세요, 유스라, and we have a cat, got Emperor, and Sarah, 레지아나, 크리스, 니킬, 에밀리, 콰티. 안녕. Welcome. And for those of you who didn't leave a comment too, this lesson is designed for absolute beginners with no prior Korean experience, Korean learning experience. So if you're an absolute beginner, welcome. This lesson is perfect for you. Veronique. Yes. Chris, thank you so much for reminding me. New members, remember to download PDF lesson note by clicking the link in the description. Our student, our classmate is our marketing staff now. That's awesome. Yes, as Chris she just mentioned, if you click the link in the description, you can actually get this. 짠, this is a textbook for this class. So it has the dialogue, vocabulary, grammar, sentence pattern, culture, insight, some quiz. Like, it's really useful, especially for absolute beginners. It's like you learn super basic, most important phrases from this textbook. So check out the link in the description. And this lesson is very interactive. We'll have a quiz game, Korean game, Korean quiz game after learning some phrases. So keep watching this video and join it. You can join the quiz game by clicking the link in the description too. Just for your information, I want to I want to show this topic, and today's topic is how to ask about well-being in Korean. Well-being in Korean. So, 짠! Can I change the scene now? Yes, it works. So, 짜잔! So, yes, what is the phrases that you will use for this? For example, how have you been? How are you? That's what you often say in English, right? We have a similar phrase in Korean, and that's the topic for today's lesson. Yay! And 짜자자잔! Yes, this is a PDF that I was talking about, and this is a QR code that you can go to the page directly if you don't find the link. Simpler. Awesome. We are all good. By the way, this PDF and quiz game is only available for Korean Class 101 members. And anyone can join our website for free and enjoy this PDF and this quiz game as you want. So please check out and sign up for KoreanClass101.com for free. Okay, so oh wow, we are getting many viewers. Nikhil, Yasai, Zero, Capitana, and Hey Estella, and Mern on YouTube. Sorry, I'm not familiar with non-English alphabet or other languages, so if I don't pronounce your name correctly, I'm sorry. And Chilgasm and Trevon and Kishore and not so smart Tricat. Okay, so great. 제로, 네, 잘 지냈어요. And Kailon, 안녕하세요, hi. Lisa, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. And in today's lesson, you will be able to ask that question, how are you, in Korean. That will be amazing. Kwati, that's a very good cultural tip. Yes, in Korea, we don't say how are you so often. I noticed English speakers often say how are you. So for example, I saw someone on the first floor and maybe like, I don't know, like 3 hours later, I saw them again and they say how are you? But we don't really say how are you that often, but our how are you is a little different. I'm going to explain that in today's lesson, so please keep watching until the end. So I'll show you a dialogue. Please listen very carefully and see how much you can understand. Good luck, let's go. Dialogue. Oh, are we playing the dialogue?
잘 지냈어요?
네, 잘 지냈어요.
짜자자자잔. Yes, this was the dialogue. Actually, this one is missing one word. 네. It's because this is optional. But I read this dialogue very slowly, so please listen carefully. At first, let's get used to these phrases. Make your ears get used to these sounds. Okay, so first, I'm reading the question. 잘 지냈어요? 잘 지냈어요? 네, 잘 지냈어요. 네, 잘 지냈어요. Are you okay with this? So if you are alone at home or if you can speak out loud, please repeat after me. If you are in the, I don't know, in the toilet or in the, I don't know, in the subway or bus where you cannot speak out loud, then it's okay. But if you can practice speaking, then it would be great. 잘 지냈어요? And 잘 지냈어요. It's pretty simple, right? Okay? So what does that mean? What does it mean? So, Jan, it just means, how have you been? I've been well. But more specifically, it's more like, have you been well? And yes, optional. I've been well. So I write down the phrases on this white background. So if you have a note and pen, why don't you write down with me together? Okay, so the target sentence was this. 잘 지냈어요? 잘 지냈어요? 네 is optional. 네. 잘 지냈어요. So this is today's sentence patterns. So what does 잘 mean? I think now you're familiar with it if you've watched my previous videos. 잘 means well. And 지냈어요 means like been or past, spent. So it literally means past well, spent well. So did you spend time well, or did you pass the time well? Were you okay? Or have you been well? So 잘, well, 지냈어요, past. 잘 지냈어요, past well. And since this is a yes or no question, right? Have you been well? Have you been well? Then in English you can say yes or no. So you can say 네, yes. 네, yes, if you want. But in Korean, we say that, but it's very optional. It depends on the person. In my case, I don't really say yes or no. I just say yes, I'm doing well. I've been well, as in 잘 지냈어요. 잘 지냈어요. 잘, well, 지냈어요, past. And Korean is so easy here, right? For questions, I just use a question mark at the end with a rising tone. 잘 지냈어요? And for the answer, I use exactly same sentence like 잘 지냈어요 with a just flat tone. 잘 지냈어요. 잘 지냈어요. And that becomes statement, question, yes. Unlike English, we use exactly same sentence order for question and the statement. So only different thing is the intonation and the question mark. Okay. I'm doing good. Yes, Nikhil, I'm happy to hear that. And Kwati, is it on past tense? You notice something very important. Yes, 지냈어요 is a past tense. Because in English it's more like, have you been well? Have you been well? Did you spend time well? So yes, it's a past tense. And Vehoni, can we use the present tense when I reply? Oh, yes, that's okay, but it's more natural if someone asks you the past tense and you answer in a past tense. By the way, as Veronique and Kwati mentioned, we can also use a present tense, which is 잘 지내요? And 네. 잘 지내요. Ooh, same sentence pattern for question and answer. So this is a present tense and you can say that. And it means, how are you? How are you? But for absolute beginners, learning many phrases at the same time would be a little bit confusing. So I recommend remembering this first. Because for this means how are you? How are you? And you don't use it so often. Maybe you haven't met someone for a long time, so you haven't heard anything about this person. So, how are you? Was everything okay? Or like you want to know their the current status. Is everything okay or not? So this one is used when you don't meet someone for relatively, compared to the first one, relatively longer time. And this one, maybe I met you 3 days ago. And after 3 days, we haven't talked and we are talking again. Hey, for 3 days, was everything okay? How have you been for the last 3 days? So this 잘 지냈어요 can be used for relatively shorter time than this. But again, both of them are very common. So if you can memorize and practice, that will be amazing. But if you have to choose which one you can use more usefully, then yeah, the first one you can use relatively shorter time. So you can use this phrase every week too. But we wouldn't use this every week because, well, we already know how we've been doing. We met often. Okay. 레지아나, exactly. 잘 지냈어요. And Rachel, hi. Okay. So are you good with this? Then, 짜잔. Let's quickly review the phrase what we learned. And for this, let me remove the answer. Let me remove the answer so you can review. So, what does 잘 mean, by the way? Remember? 잘 means well. So, 잘. And 지냈어, what does this mean? 지냈어 is the past tense of to pass, to spend, or it's like been. So it's like how have you been? Like that kind of been. So yeah, did you spent or past? So 지냈어. And I didn't mention today, but do you remember you? I often mention this. You is a suffix, and we put it at the end of the sentence to make the informal phrase sounds more polite. Nikhil is 잘, by the way, 잘. Okay, so it's 잘 지냈어요. 잘 지냈어요. I hope you now remember this phrase, and let me introduce you more variation. First, how have you been? Or have you been well? 잘 지냈어요? And in English translation, you have this. 다란, you. You. So I notice many beginners tend to put you in Korean translation as in 당신, or 너 for informal phrase. 너 informal phrase. But actually, in Korean, we don't have to put the subject to the sentence. In English, I cannot say how have been, or have been well. This is incorrect in English, but in Korean, we often omit the subject like you, I, because the subject can be understood from the context. So, 당신, 주, 부 is better to omit it. It's much more natural without 당신. Second, 당신 and 너, these are great, but 당신 is not so often used in daily life. And in my life, I never used 당신. So, well, previously it used to have some meaning, but these days young people, hopefully I'm young, we don't really use 당신. And I don't think I've seen my parents, even my parents, using 당신. But 당신 has several meanings these days in modern times. And first is kind of you in insulting way. So for example, on the street, I'm fighting with a person. I'm fighting, like I'm very aggressive. So I hit person and that person is angry. So I say, 당신! You! So I would say 당신 because I don't know their title. I don't know what they do. I don't know their name. So I don't know how to call them. So I would use like 당신, but I never heard it. I mean, theoretically, yes, some people use it, 당신, but it's not so often used these days. Second, some married couple, usually quite old couple, maybe my parents' generation, they call their husband and wife as 당신, as you, like honey, 당신, 당신. But my parents don't use that, and I think I only see these 당신 between couples only in dramas. Because I don't know. Because in drama they are, I don't know, sweeter or so in short, 당신 is not often used but only used in literature, actually literature. So in the book or in formal situation. Formal situation. So well, some quick tip. And stop fighting people, Kejin. No, I love fighting. I'll keep more people and fight more on the street. No, I'm joking. But Nikhil, and yes, 당신 is not so often used. It's just a cultural tip because I often noticed Korean learners use 당신 because many Korean learners pick some words from K-pop songs. K-pop songs. And usually, K-pop songs are actually songs. The lyrics are poetic. So they use 당신, like, I don't know, some like romantic way. But in real life, I haven't seen anyone actually using it. So as a native. Okay. And another cultural tip. I said you is a polite suffix. Very polite. But do you have to be so polite between friends or your siblings? I mean, to your younger brothers. Like, 잘 지냈어요? It's so polite. We never say that unless you want to be sarcastic. So, what kind of phrase do you use in that case? For casually, I use this. 잘 지냈어? Well, it's so simple, right? I just omitted you at the end because you is too polite. So I just omitted you. So 잘 지냈어? 잘 지냈어? 잘 지냈어 is a casual sentence that we use for you between friends or to talk to someone who is very young. 엔지마 안녕 안녕. And Chugam, that's a good question. So, yo, what's up? Would that be polite? Well, that's in English, so you don't really say that's like polite. It's not like rude, but it's not so polite. 잘 지냈어 is, yeah, I would say it's more like, hey, what's up? Because it's casual. Okay, 가일론, 잘 지냈어. Good to hear that. And what if I want to be a little formal because I'm talking to my boss or professor or someone who is much older than me or socially they are at higher social status than me. In that case, I use this formal phrase like 잘 지내셨습니까? Well, let's use a little bit easier one first. 잘 지내셨어요? 잘 지내셨어요? 잘 지내셨어요? So it's pretty formal because of this shot. Do you see this? This shot includes the honorific she infix, which makes this sentence much more polite. So when you want to ask, how have you been, or have you been well to your boss or professor or your grandparents or your partner's parents or some very polite situation, then use this formal phrase. 잘 지냈어요 is still polite, but it's not so honorific. So I will use 잘 지냈어요 to my neighbors because I don't talk too casually, but my neighbors, I speak politely, but I don't have to be too formal. Neighbors or my friends who are a little older than me, maybe. So yes, we have some different politeness levels in Korean. Maybe it's you at the end then, like, what's up, you? That's interesting because you is quite casual in English, but in Korean somehow you is polite. Okay, 니킬, exactly, 맞아요. Kwati is so friendly. Oh, our community is awesome. And now you want to say, you want to say very formally, very formally. Let's say very formal. So for example, I'm in a business meeting, or I'm meeting the, I don't know, like owner of the company or very, very important client. Then I'm very formal. In that case, I even use different ending, not you ending. You is polite, but there is even more formal ending, which is 잘 지내셨습니까? 잘 지내셨습니까? Wow, this includes she infix, honorific she infix, plus 니까. Wow, it's double, double honorific, so it's super formal and polite. So, just quick tip again. We have many politeness levels in Korea because manners matter in Korea, and etiquette and all the politeness manners are so important. So we have many politeness levels, formality levels in speaking. We have casual one, and this one is informal but still polite. This one is formal. This one is very formal. And for beginners, absolute beginners, please remember this first. This. 잘 지냈어요? Please remember this first. 잘 지냈어요? 잘 지냈어요? And if you can memorize some things, remember this phrase too, because you just need to omit you at the end. As in, 잘 지냈어? And 잘 지내셨어요 is the next one. It would be so useful when you have to be formal. For very formal, honestly, I don't use it very often. I don't think I use it even once a year for this very formal version, because this formal version covers most of the situation. So very formal is for, I would say, intermediate learners or advanced learners who have to be super serious at work. Okay, good practice. Okay. 하하. 가슴. Great. So we just talked about this question and how can you answer? Is there any variation just like the questions? Yes, we do. Yes, there are many variations. So as you notice, this one is, I would say, standard. Standard, polite. But what is the casual? Casual version then. Casual version is 잘 지냈어. It's so simple because you just need to remove you at the end, right? The standard polite is 잘 지냈어. Oh, I'm eating my hair. But 잘 지냈어 is casual. And how about this? Formal. Because my boss asked, oh, Keijin, how are you? How have you been? Have you been well? So I say, 잘 지냈어요. Or 잘 지냈습니다. for both, it's okay to use this standard polite too. It's okay to use 잘 지냈어요 too. But when you normally use the formal ending as in 니다, then you can use 잘 지냈습니다 too. But most cases, again, 잘 지냈어요 works, but in more like more serious situation. 잘 지냈습니다. 네, 잘 지냈습니다 works. And is there a very formal version? Is there? Nope. That's it. Why? Because previously you're talking to someone. Like, how have you been? You're talking about you, who can be your boss or professor or, I don't know, president. President or, I don't know, prime minister. And very, you're talking about someone else who you have to show your respect. But now this is the answer. So the subject is you. I mean, it's not you, it's me, I. As in, I've been well, I'm doing great, I'm good, like I'm okay, I. For yourself, you don't have to use this she, honorific infix, and too many like honorific titles because it's about you. And we usually don't make ourselves too honorific because we are trying to lower ourselves than other people to be polite. So we don't have too many like formal level when the subject is I, me. So there's just a casual version when you talk with your friends like 잘 지냈어? 응, 잘 지냈어. And this 잘 지냈어요? 네, 잘 지냈어요. So this most situation when you have to be formal, you say 잘 지냈습니다. 잘 지냈습니다. That's it. There are not so many variations like the question when the subject is you or different. 아, 7금 exactly humble and Javier. Ah, that's awesome. Thank you. You're trying to writing Korean Zubail. Hope I'm reading your name correctly. So, I hope this was very clear and let's quickly move on because I want to give you some more tips. Yay! So, how have you been? I've been well. It's okay. But you sometimes want to ask you, and you? How about you? How can you say that in Korean? Well, it's very simple. We just use this phrase. Put the name here. Name. 씨는요? 씨는요? She is honorific title just like Mr. Miss. So as in 침침 씨는요? 케이진 씨는요? Or 프라티샤 씨는요? 칠가슴 씨는요? 가일론 씨는요? So you just put the name and she. What is 는 here? 는. 는 is topic marking particle. Do you remember? So 는 is topic marking particle. It means like as for regarding. So you're just saying the topic is this. And you have you at the end. What is you? You is the polite suffix, right? Polite suffix. So it literally means regarding Mr. 침침, 침침 씨는요? But it just translates to and you, how about you? How about you? Or and you. And as I just mentioned, we don't say you so often in Korean. Like 당신, 너, 너는 is okay because 너 is very direct, but still, well, it's between friends and you want to speak casually, so it's acceptable. It's okay. But normal life, in real daily life, we don't say you, 당신, 너 so often because it's too direct. So Korean people are like, me, too direct. So we don't say that. So instead, we use the name. Or for intermediate learners, you can also say this. 씨도 잘 지냈어요? Again, put name here. 도 means also or too. Have you been well too? How about you? Have you been well too? So it's just an additional phrase for those of you who want to know variation. And Cookie, that's a good question. If you don't know the name, we should ask name, right? It depends. It depends. For example, very often in Korea, we don't know someone's name because we often use their title. For example, at work, we use their title as in like manager or president or senior manager. So we often use the job title at work or family title, for example, like uncle. In Korean, we have, I think, many words for uncle, like 삼촌, 큰아빠, 작은아빠. I cannot mention all the names because there are so many, so we often use their title. So for the names, well, if you know their name, that's great. But very often, in case you don't know their name, then we use very general term, such as 아저씨. 아저씨 means like Mr. or 아주머니, 아줌마. That means like old woman or ma'am. But well, or in the restaurant we call 이모. 이모 literally means aunt. Or 선생님. 선생님 literally means teacher, but someone is like much older than you. We say this word to call someone. But anyway, yeah, for the names, don't worry about that because Korean people try to omit you or name if possible. We try to omit the subject. Okay, try street. 안녕하십니까? Oh, that's very formal. 안녕하세요, AG. 안녕하세요. And barista. Yes. 바리스타님은요, we can also say that. So yeah, we often use the job title actually. Okay. Great. And moving on. 짠. 네. Yes. As we mentioned, 잘 지냈어요 is a yes or no question. So if you want, you can use yes or no. Yes is 네 and no is 아니요. 아니요. And how can I say I'm not doing well? I'm not doing well. I've been not well. That's what I'm going to introduce that very soon. So very soon. But for now, let's look at this phrase first. 그냥 그래요. 그냥 그래요. Elena, oh, yes, good to know that. 그냥 means just. 그래요 means so. So it's like so. so. 그냥 그래요. How are you? 그냥 그래요. So. Yes, if you want, you can use that. But actually, in English, when someone asks you, how are you? You don't really say, oh, so, or like, I'm doing really bad. Everything is horrible. You don't really say that. It's just like fixed expression, kind of like, yeah, it's good. It's like, otherwise the conversation got too long. So very often you just say it's good. Same in Korean. Even if you are messed with your exam, we just say, 잘 지냈어요. 잘 지냈어요. Unless you want to talk about why. Okay, so here are more phrases. Oops. Here are more phrases. So yes, we talk about 그냥 그래요. And next phrase is this. 짠. We actually have a sentence pattern. So we put an adverb here and 지냈어요. 지냈어요. It means past. So if you put 잘 as in well, I passed well, 잘 지냈어요 means I've been well. But what happens if you say 잘못. 잘 means well, 못 means not. So it means not well, I passed not well, 잘 못 지냈어요. Or let's put another adverb. 잘 is okay, but how about this? 침침 is hiding that. 아주. So let's put another 짠 phrase here. 아주 잘. 아주 means very and 잘 means well. So 아주 잘 지냈어요 means I've been very well. So depending on what kind of adverb you put, the meaning changes. Or you can also say, I have a lot of errors, but 그럭저럭 is also another way to say so. So 그럭저럭 지냈어요. I've been so. 그럭저럭 지냈어요. So some additional phrases. And 코아티 그냥요 means just because. Why did you break my glass? Just because. 그냥요. Yes, 그냥요 means just, and 그냥 그래요 means so. Okay, we learned a lot today. And let's quickly test your Korean levels, Korean phrases level, Korean words, Korean phrases. So if you scan this QR code or click the link in the description, you can join our quiz show. Let me show you what it looks like. Oh, yes, awesome. Nikhil just joined the quiz show, and Kwati joined, and Galileo joined, and Trayvon joined. Okay, so 4 people joined, and I'll be waiting a little bit more. So please join this quiz game. I'll be waiting for you a little bit. In the meanwhile, let's quickly practice what we learned again. 짠! So imagine someone asked you, 잘 지내셨어요? Ooh, this is an formal phrase. Or in just standard politeness level, you can say 잘 지냈어요? Someone is asking you, 잘 지냈어요? 잘 지내셨어요? Imagine you are Mark Morris. How would you say that? If it's so, I would say this. By the way, if you know the answer, please leave a comment on YouTube or Facebook. I'll be reading it. 그냥 그래요. Or 그럭저럭 지냈어요. So. Ooh, 침침 is bowing to show you answer. 그럭저럭 지냈어요. Yes, you can answer this way. Or imagine now you are 상훈성 and you are not doing well. So someone is asking you, 잘 지냈어요? And you are saying, no, not good. I've been not well. 잘 못 지냈어요. is okay. Or you can actually omit 잘 to 못 지냈어요. I've been not well. Or 잘. I've been not well. Well, in English, the translation is the same. But in Korean, this 잘 is optional because 못 is not. And it already kind of shows the meaning. Okay. Imagine now you are Sasha Morris and you are doing very, very well. Like happy. Like fantastic. Then you can say 아주 잘 지냈어요. Or instead of 아주, do you know other words to say very? Which is really, or like other phrases. There are many. This is additional information. And this is degree words. degree words. For example, 진짜, 정말, it means really. 진짜 잘 지냈어요. 정말 잘 지냈어요. It's okay. Or more like colloquially, we can say 엄청. 침침 is bowing now. 침침 is polite. Or yeah, 엄청 잘 지냈어요 is also okay. So you can just replace this to any word, which means very, very. 룩샤 안녕하세요. 네, 잘 지내요. 고마워요. Okay, so we already reviewed the phrases that we learned. So, 짜자자자잔, let's go back to this quiz game. And 쿼티, that's a good example. Yes, another way to say very is 매우, 매우, or 너무, 너무. 쿼티 is a teacher today. Very good. And 찬디 고마워요. 감사합니다. And 짠, we have 6 people here. 트레이봉, 갈릴레오, 프라티샤, 코아티, 니킬, and 멜로디. Thank you, these 6 people. So I'll start the quiz game, and even if I started this game, you can join. You can join even if I started it already, okay? Feel free to join it in the middle of the quiz game. Let's go. Doo-doo-doo. So there's first question is this. How do you say very in Korean? It's too simple because we just talked about it in 3 seconds ago. So I think the texts are too small for mobile users. So let me read it. First, 그럭저럭, 그럭저럭. Second, 조금, 조금. Third, 아주, 아주. 잘, 잘. There is just one answer, so please choose one answer and let me know. If you join this quiz show, choose the answer, just click it. Or if you're not joining, but still you're on comment on YouTube and Facebook, yes, feel free to leave a comment. And, ooh, we got the answer. So yes, the correct answer is 아주, 아주. 아주 means very. And 조금, 조금 means a little, little. So how much water do you drink a day? 조금요, 조금요, little, little. So 조금 means a little, a bit, slightly, 조금. 그럭저럭 means so. And 잘 means well. So do you draw well? Do you draw well? 잘 그려요? That kind of 잘 그려요? Do you sing well? Do you sing well? 노래 잘 해요? That kind of 잘. So well, a little, so. So the answer is 아주, 아주. So 짠. 트레이본 코아티 프라티샤. Very good. 잘했어요. By the way, quick tip. If you answer quickly, then you get higher point. And the fun part of this quiz game is it's kind of like race. People take over each other and the ranking keeps changing. So keep it up. Let's go. So the second question is this. Are you ready? 짠. How do you say I've been well in Korean? How have you been? Have you been well? And you say I've been well. I've been well. Do you know how to say that? So there are some syllables, so please choose the correct order. You can sort the order in correctly. So first word is first syllable. First letter is 어. Second is 요. Third is 지. Next is that. The last thing is 잘. So 요, 지, that, 잘. So can you reorder these letters correctly and make the full sentence? I've been well. How can you say that? So you can also leave in a comment too. Kylon, actually for very, yes, you can say 완전. 완전 is okay. It also means very, but 완전 is kind of slang. So I wouldn't use that word for the report. Like, this project went very well. 완전? No, I wouldn't use it for report, but well, for speaking it's okay. Oh, everyone is correct. Fantastic work. So I've been well in Korean is 잘 지냈어요. 잘 지냈어요. Very good. So let's move on. 짠. Woo! See, the rank changes. It's like a race. Like It's so fun. 트레이본 프라티샤 코아티 니킬 멜로디. You're doing a good job. And of course, and Sara and Galileo too. Keep it up. Let's move on. The next quiz is this. Da-da-da-da-da. How do you say I've not been well in Korean? And as Kwati said, click and grab the icon. This way you can move. Oh, yes. Kwati is so kind. And also, please, new people, don't choose those cute animals. Exactly. Because these characters are so cute and some people choose their favorite characters. But actually, look at these Korean letters. I read the phrases for you. First phrase is this. 그냥 그래요. 그냥 그래요. Second phrase is 잘 못 지냈어요. 잘 못 지냈어요. The third one is 아주 잘 지냈어요. 아주 잘 지냈어요. The last one is 그럭저럭 지냈어요. 그럭저럭 지냈어요. So please choose one. There is just one answer. One answer. Oops. What happens? What happens? Okay, going back. Can I? Ah, okay. Sorry about that. It's fun part of the quiz show, right? We have to start it again? Seriously? Okay. Ah, going back. Stay. Wait. I'm sorry for this. I'm very sorry about this mistake, but it's the fun part of the quiz show, right? Okay, so starting again for this quiz. But don't worry, for the previous answers, it's already saved. So your scores stay the same. So don't worry about that. But don't worry about that. But for I've not been well, so please choose just one. Please choose this one. Cherry, it's okay. 괜찮아요. You're so kind. 감사합니다. And Shandy, you are already writing the answer on Facebook. That's awesome. That's awesome. And Kailon, very good. Actually, that's the answer. And Cookie, that's okay. Everyone can mistake. We learn from this. Exactly. I learned from this 실수. 실수. 실수 means mistake, by the way. 실수. Useful word. Because we make a lot of 실수, especially for beginners, right? Cherry, thank you too. 가일론. 가일론 is enjoying this situation. This my 실수. 코아티 고마워요. Don't worry. 걱정하지 마세요. 걱정하지 마세요. Don't worry. Thank you. So the answer is time's up. 짠. Yes, the answer is 잘 못 지냈어요. Is I've not been well. 그냥 그래요 means so. 잘 못 지냈어요 means I've not been well. 아주 잘 지냈어요 means I've been very well. 그럭저럭 지냈어요 means I've been so. I've been so. 프라티샤 잘 못 지냈어요. 맞아요. Very good. And yes, we keep these scores, right? So don't worry. Don't worry. And yes, you're doing very well, everyone. So let's move on. 짜자자자잔. So the last one is this. Match the Korean words to their English equivalent. So look at the politeness level carefully and choose the right one. So I read these phrases for you. First we have 잘 지냈어? 잘 지냈어? The first one is 잘 지냈어? Number 2, the second one is 잘 지내셨습니까? 잘 지내셨습니까? The third one, number 3 is 잘 지냈어요? 잘 지냈어요? The fourth one, number 4 is 잘 지내셨어요? 잘 지내셨어요? So we have these four phrases and they means exactly the same, which means have you been well? How have you been? Is everything okay? Good? So it means exactly the same. Only different thing is the politeness level. So A, very formal, very formal. B, informal polite. It's informal but still polite. 3, formal, formal. D, casual, casual. So you use it between friends. So did you choose the correct one? So let's look at the answer. Time's up. 따라라라. Yes. 잘 지냈어? Very often, not all the time, but very often when the sentence ends with 여, then it's casual form. And when the sentence ends with 니다 or 니까 is very formal. And if you see 요 at the end, as in 잘 지내셨어요, is well very polite. It's polite. It's not too formal, but it's polite. Still informal. Sounds friendly and polite. So 잘 지내셨습니까 is very formal. The last one is 잘 지내셨어요 is formal. It's still using the friendly, polite particle 요, suffix 요. So it still sounds a little bit friendly, but it's using 시 infix. It's honorific 시 infix, making the sentence sounds very humble, formal. So it's formal. And everyone is correct. You've remembered the phrases very well. 진짜 잘했어요. Yay! Okay, so 따라라라란. Wow, Pratisha holds the longest strike record. Good job, Pratisha and Trayvon. You got the highest point. Very good. 진짜 잘했어요. And Melody and Nikhil and everyone who joined this quiz game, you did awesome work. Very good. 짝짝짝짝. 잘했어요. And of course, for those of you who left a comment on YouTube and Facebook too, 야사이. Very good. And Shandy, I'm so lucky too. It's so sweet. Thank you. 가일론 대박이네요. Yes, 진짜 잘했어요. So, 짠! The last question for you. Can you answer this question in Korean? This is open-ended question. There's no one fixed answer. You can say any way you want. So, 잘 지냈어요? Have you been well? So, if you think Chimchim is much younger than you, then you can answer casually, right? Or if you think Chimchim is your boss, then you can be formal. You can answer formal way. Or if you think, well, you and Chimchim are same classmates and you can be just like informal but still sounds polite, then you can answer like politely. So it's up to you. How would you answer this? We learned many examples today, right? So you can answer anyway. 프라티샤 잘 못 지냈어요. So you're not being well. That's sad. But I hope this is just an example, not real situation. And 가일론 아주 잘 지냈어요. That's awesome. You've been very well. And Shandy, what about me? Of course. You're so lucky. We are all lucky to have you in this class. And if you ask me this question, 잘 지냈어요? Then I would answer this. 네, 잘 지냈어요. 네, 잘 지냈어요. Again, 네 is optional, but you can put it if you want. 네, 잘 지냈어요 means I've been well. And 7g, 잘 못 지냈어요. We have many people who have not been well. I hope this is just an example for practice, not real situation. Okay, so very good today, everyone. 짝짝짝짝짝. Thank you so much, and I have homework for you. 짜잔. So, 침침이와 오랜만에 만났어요. 한국어로 인사해 보세요. So, 침침. What is 침침, by the way? What is 침침? Sometimes people ask that. What is 침침이? 침침이 is a name of our lovely classmate. 침침이. 와 means with. 오랜만에 means after a long time. 만났어요 means met. So you met 침침 after a long time, or you haven't seen 침침이 in a long time. It's been a while since you met 침침 last time. So, well, 침침이요. With 침침, after a long time, met. So you met 침침 after a long time, in a long time. 한국어, Korean language,로 means in. So in Korean, 한국어로 인사해 보세요 means say hello. Say hello or say hello and how are you? I mean, you can say hello, how are you? So make long sentence using today's phrase. So it's just for your homework if you want to practice more. Leave a comment on KoreanClass101.com YouTube channel or Facebook account. And if you want to take a screenshot, yeah, I notice a lot of people take a screenshot and I often make a weird face like so I'm helping you to take a better screenshot. But yes, you can leave a comment on YouTube or our Facebook, or you can let me know personally using my Instagram. If you tag me, I can check you and give you feedback. It's super underbar Kjin. And Nikhil, me too. I enjoyed the class so much thanks to your comment and participation. Now it's my lunch time and I'm hungry and I can't pronounce the English words correctly. Regina, I like the quiz. It was fun. Hope I can join next time. Please, yes, I'll be waiting for you in this quiz game. So please join it next week. This lesson will happen at the same time. 칠가진 paparazzi. Yes, paparazzi. 침침 and I was dating and you took a photo. And Cherry SK 감사합니다. And Kwati, I'm glad you enjoyed. I don't need your hair. Yeah, I often eat hair like this when I especially like this. Okay, it's 11 a.m. Lunchtime soon. Okay, so next week, of course, I'll be back with a new lesson, and next week's topic is this: how to ask for clarification in Korean. Well, it sounds very difficult. Clarification? But actually, it's a super useful phrase. Like, how do you say mirror in Korean? How do you say water in Korean? Or how do you say mouse in Korean? Like, if you learn Korean, you want to use this phrase a lot, especially in a Korean class like this. Now I often see my students ask me this kind of question in English, like, teacher, how can I say I've not been well in Korean? But with this phrase, you can say that in Korean. Or you can also say this, can you repeat that? Can you speak slowly? Please say that one more time. Please write it for me because I'm a beginner Korean learner, so I don't understand. So all these phrases would include this. So yay, so useful. Okay. Kailon, I know that's correct, but this sounds a little bit rude with that K. That's a very slang word. But it sounds like native speaker, but we don't say that with this formal ending, but we only use it between friends. And Mel S 감사합니다. 감사합니다 too. 저도 고마워요. And Cherry, 트레봉, 에밀리, and 칠가짐, 쿼티, SK, and 레지아나, 니킬 진짜 고맙습니다. And 카일론, 샨디. So I'll wait for you in my next class. So see you next Thursday, 1 p.m. in Korean time, October 19th. So 감사합니다.